everyone and welcome to Leah's Cross Stitch Corner. So today I thought I would do a video on cross stitch for beginners. One of the things I want to make about my channel is I want to make it accessible. I want to make it so that anybody who either has been cross stitching for a long time or if they're just starting out and they don't know where to start, they can come to my channel, they can find a video and hopefully that'll help them in some way. So I thought I would share some good tips and tricks for getting started with your cross stitch and then share some little life hacks or cross stitch hacks that will help smooth along the journey when it comes to cross stitch. So when I first started in cross stitch, I had no idea where to start. I wasn't on any Facebook groups, I didn't watch any YouTube videos. I was just looking for something to do with my hands at work. So what I did was I bought a few embroidery kits and one of them was a cross stitch kit, or so it said. Turns out it was embroidery masquerading as cross stitch. It didn't use Ada, it used embroidery cloth and you just covered the X's on the cloth, but that wasn't proper cross stitch. So what I did instead, I went out and I bought some cross stitch magazines. So I got Cross Stitcher and The World of Cross Stitching, and the very first thing I stitched was this little freebie here. So as you can see, I mean, he looks pretty good, doesn't he? Like, I'm quite impressed with him. He's quite lovely for a first stitch. So the best place to start for me is to get a small kit. Something small, something in 14 count. I'll come into count a little bit later, and just follow the instructions in the magazine. I bought a magazine, I did the free gift, that was in Cross Stitcher, and yeah, look at that. I think it looks pretty good. It actually doesn't look terrible. My stitching is actually fairly neat. I'm quite happy with them. Another suggestion would be to get a DMC kit. They have the little tiny 3-inch kits. I'll just cover that just so you can't see the felt back end. Now there's a lot of back stitch in that one, so I wouldn't recommend getting that one specifically. But if you can get something that has very minimal back stitch, that's a good place to start. Caterpillar Cross Stitch do beginner kits, no back stitch. They never use back stitch. It's all just full crosses, no half crosses or anything. And they're quite a good place to start. They've got some quite easy, simple ones. They've even got some kids kits, which if you just start out, there's nothing wrong with using a kids kit just to get a feel for it. Yeah, and just to show, here's some progress that I've made since. So I've been cross stitching now for nearly 2 years, and here's are some of my most recent finishes. So I've got this Beach Please hoop, again covered up just so you can't see the back. This was from I've forgotten her name, Kiki Stitching Company. Beach Please. I did this one recently. This was a Caterpillar Cross Stitch Club Box. It's actually designed by Pigeon Coop Designs, and look how stunning that is. And then I've got a couple that I've just finished that haven't actually been framed. So here's my 90s kid. Oh yeah, I thought I had it the wrong way around. It's just because it's you can actually like see through it because it doesn't have anything against it. Let me just pop it on there. There. My 90s kid design. This was from Hoops and Crosses. This is the one I rave about all of the time. I really love this one. And my most recent finish, I literally just finished this weekend. I've been on with it for about 2 months. I got it back for my birthday off Jackie, Graham's mum. And I've been on with it for like 2 months and I've just finished it. Is that one. Yeah, sorry, I've got to look to try and make sure I've shown it correctly. I've got the frame coming, so I'll actually be doing a short review on this soon once I've got it framed up so I can show it properly. Graham's actually bought me a custom frame for it, so it's going to look fantastic. So that's 2 years progress. And like I say, it can be really confusing when you first start. You'll hear about 14 count, 18 count, 16 count, then you get to the higher counts, 24, 28, 32, 36, even weave. People mention all kinds of words that make no sense. The best thing you can do is start with 14 count Ada. That is the best one to start with. The holes are nice and big. I mean, this, I'll just use him as an example. This is 14 count Ada, and you can see the crosses, which is exactly as it's designed. And, you know, it was nice to do. It was really easy to do. This Ada was a little bit stiff, actually, I think I seem to remember. 14 count Ada is where it's at. The best thing you can probably do as well to help yourself, don't start with any patterns or anything. Don't go too far off the deep end. Buy kits. They're so reasonably priced. You know, they cost between £17 to £20. You get the Ada, sometimes you get the hoop, you get the pattern, you get all of the threads that you're going to need, you get a needle, you get everything that you need to start cross stitching. and you just, honestly, they're a game changer. Even now, I still prefer to buy kits because I'm just lazy. What can I say? I buy loads of patterns. I've got a full pattern book upstairs, but I do prefer just to buy a kit and then I can just crack on. I know I've got everything that I need with it. So yeah, that is the biggest tip. Start on 14 count Ada, and then I just want to show you a few things that will save your life a little bit as well. So one of my favorite things are needle threaders. I use these from Amazon. Sorry, you're not gonna be able to see them. So it's basically just a plastic doodad with a bit of metal, and you pop your needle through. I've got two there. Pop your needle through there, pop your thread in there, and then boop, pull it, and that'll thread the needle. They are game changing. I don't know how anybody can thread a needle without using one of these, because it's an absolute nightmare. I'm blind, as you can see. I wear glasses. It's a nightmare. These were from Amazon. I got a set, like a box of like 50 of them. They are an absolute game changer. Another good tip, get a good pair of embroidery scissors, or 10 pairs in my case. These are Swan ones. I think these are DMC. I could be mistaken. They're a game changer as well. You don't want to be cutting your floss with normal scissors. That's ridiculous. Don't use your kitchen scissors. Just buy some embroidery scissors. They cost like $5. They're a bargain. For storing your needles, keeping your needles, minding your needles, get needle minders. So these are from Hoops and Crosses. She's just released them actually. They're fantastic. And this, apologies, it's not focusing. Stitching Buddy Appreciation Society. So Lucy's actually just released these at hoopsandcrosses.co.uk. They're £6 each. You pop it on your hoop or your scroll frame, however you do it, and you can just mind your needles like so. I'll do a live demonstration. So here's the needle. There's the minder. There we go. Keeps your needle safe and sound. So another thing I would highly recommend would be a project bag of some kind. This is a caterpillar cross stitch one. I've got another one here. I had this custom made, so check out that bad boy. So you can pop your bobbins in there. It's huge. It's like really, really huge. I had this custom made. I love these caterpillar ones, don't get me wrong, but sometimes when you're doing a pattern, you just want to be able to put the bobbins in. It's for easy storage, so that's where my custom one come in. But these ones, they're available on caterpillar cross stitch, obviously. You don't even need to get a branded one. You can get canvas bags, canvas project pouches very cheaply anyway, so it's just handy. So when I'm doing a project, I keep everything in the pouch, and then I know where everything is and I know where I'm getting started with it. Another thing that comes in quite handy is my magnifying lamp. So Graham got me this, I think it was for Christmas. It's handy. Let's see if I can turn it on. It's got various different light settings and everything. I think you press it and it goes duller. Yeah, very handy. I don't know how much it was. It was a Christmas gift, but it's very handy to put in front of you, just so you can see a little bit better, especially on the dull days. We get a few of them over here. Now this is a bit out of left field. A screwdriver. Just a simple, I can't remember, I think it's flathead. Yeah, I think Phillips is the pointy one. That's a flathead. So you might be wondering, why in the heck do I need a screwdriver, Leah? And you'd be right to ask that question. To tighten the hoops. So I have very poor grip. I am absolutely no good at tightening anything. So on a hoop, no, not that one. That's got a Phillips one, just to prove me wrong. That one doesn't have one either. Don't let me down, Lucy. This one. So you can see. Oh, I don't know why the camera's being funny today. I apologise, but you can see it's got a flat head. So when you put your fabric in, I can never get enough tension. I can never get it good enough to be drum tight. So like you want your, I don't know if you can hear that, but you want to be able to press, like, you want to be as tight as a drum. I can't get very good tension, so this is where the screwdriver comes in, and it does the job that I need it to do. Try not to get it too tight. You don't want it to start crumpling anything, but get a good tightness to it. Get it turned, get it tightened, and your tension will just be fantastic. And then another thing that I swear by, it's my DMC magnetic board. So I'll set this up on the desk in front of me, pop my pattern on. Oh, it's slightly warped. I don't know what's happened there. I've probably knocked it. Put my pattern on. These got some magnets to stick on. Put it in front of me. It just makes reading the pattern easier without having to move it around. Very simple. So yeah, I do have a Lowry stand. You can see it behind me. I'm going to feature that in another video. That's not really a necessity. That's a luxury. That's a luxury item. But I'll be honest, all of these things I've shown are necessities. If you start cross stitching, they'll just make your cross stitching life so much easier. And you'll come and you'll thank me. Honestly, you will. So I wanted to show you what actually comes in a kit as well. So I thought, might as well tell you a little bit about cross stitching. You know, there's no need to go into fabric counts and things. I'm going to do that in a future video actually. I'm going to show what different strands look like on different counts. So I'll do 2 strands, 3 strands, 4 strands on 14 count, 16 count, 18 count. I might even go for some even weave. I have never stitched on even weave personally. I know my friend Amy at Nifty Stitch does. She does 1/1, I think traditionally, I think some people do 2/2. I'm still not sure on it, to be quite honest. I kind of question, if you're doing 28 count 2/2, why not just use 14 count? But I appreciate it can look better on even weave. I think the holes are quite tighter. But I've got some even weave upstairs from the Caterpillar Cross Stitch advent calendar last year, so I might give it a whirl and just see what it's like. I've been a traditional Ada purist, 14 count, 16 count. 18's probably the highest that I've gone personally. I like it nice and I don't like to make it too difficult for myself, to be honest. So yeah, but I'm going to go into that. I'm going to have a future video on that. I'm going to have a whole set of beginners videos. This is just a little bit of a one just to like show you what's important. I mean, none of it is necessary. None of it is you absolutely must go out and buy this if you decide to do cross stitch. Your best thing to do is to try it first. So go and get a kit or a magazine and do the free gift. And you're not going to need anything really to do that. I did that first kit without anything. I didn't have anything. Don't even think I had a needle thread at that point. Though God knows how I did the needle if that was the case. So yeah, I want to have a full set of videos for beginners. I want just so anybody's thinking about starting cross stitch, they can just come, they can do a search for whatever it is that they're looking for, and hopefully I'll have a video to suit. If you have any ideas, by all means, leave them in the comments below. I love receiving comments, makes me happy, and I reply to everyone, so I'd appreciate it. So yeah, this is actually the next kit that I'm going to be starting. I finished, like I say, my House Rules one from Historical Sampler Company. What I'm going to do with that, just so everybody's aware, at the beginning of every month I'm going to do a work in progress parade and show off all my finishes for the month. So the first Wednesday of every month will be me showing off everything that I've done that month, everything that I've stitched. I've even got a handy notebook. It's over there. Would have helped if I could show it off actually. So I can catalogue everything. Like I say, I don't know when I started that House Rules one. I think it was just after my birthday, May the 4th, in case anybody's wondering. But I'm not sure. So Amy, again at Nifty Stitch, she tracks her progress. She uploads fantastic videos saying how many stitches she's put in, if she's tracked it on Pattern Keeper. And she does also let you know how long something's taken. So I thought I'll steal that idea for myself. And once a month, that's what my video will all be about. So you get to see all my finished works, all my progress. I couldn't think of the word progress. Apparently it's a difficult word. So I've just finished House Rules and I'm about to move on to my next one. So I didn't get that started on, was it Sunday? It actually took me, Graham was watching a film, The Colour of Money with Tom Cruise and Paul Newman, and I was stitching. It took me the whole 2 hours to finish it. I was hoping to get my next one started. I was that ahead of myself. So this is going to be my next one. So I bought this from Hoops and Crosses. I'm doing a little bit of a feature on it today. And this is my Leah Doesn't Share Food pattern. I did share it in a previous video. So this is a Friends pattern, and it originally says Joey doesn't share food. If you've seen that iconic episode of Friends where Joey goes on a date and he gets some food and he doesn't want to give the girl that he's out with any of his fries, and then it turns around where she gets a really good dessert and he gets a really poor dessert with some red stuff on it. I wouldn't eat it myself personally. She goes to take a phone call, or she goes to the toilet or something. She then comes back and he's eating a dessert. It's brilliant. And it just leads to this whole scene. Joey doesn't share food. And if you'll ask Graham, I tend not to. He steals things off me plate and I don't. I'm not that bothered. Summer always gets a bite of something as well, but I just thought I want to stitch that one. I loved my 90s kids stitch. That was from Lucy at Hoops and Crosses as well. And I've just bought... I had to buy the needle minders, of course, as soon as they came out, when Lucy released them. So I also bought the Indiana Jones kit because he went to see that last week on Saturday. It was really, really good, actually. We got some cups with Indiana Jones's hat on. Love it. So, anyway, I've got distracted. I know. I apologise. So this is going to be my next one. So what Lucy's included, she's included the felt for backen. I am going to do a whole video on backen and finishing off. I'll be honest, the backs of mine are a bit amateurish, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Lucy herself does some amazing reels on Instagram. She's at Hoops and Crosses. Could be at Hoops and Crosses UK. I'm not sure. I'll put it down below just to confirm. And she does some really amazing backs. Mine, I stick some felt on the back and I use my glue gun. That's all I do. And it works for me. So what can I say? Also included is the Ada. So this is 14 count and she's helpfully already folded up for me. So I know where to start here. Oh God, here in the middle. Sorry, I was actually flashing the finger at everybody. I apologise. I didn't mean to. I don't even know why I was reaching with that finger. That's so weird. So there's the Ada. A good tip, always start in the middle. Fold it and fold it again and start in the middle. You can't go wrong if you do that. She has included a hoop for finishing. I don't know what brand it is. I don't know if it is branded, but it's a lovely hoop. And then here are all of the threads as well. It's got some lovely colours on it. It's going to be a pizza. Obviously, yeah, it's an Elbacy wooden embroidery hoop. If I was paying attention, I would have seen that. There is the pattern. And she does also include a Hoops and Crosses guide to cross stitching. Now, a lot of patterns will include a short little guide on how to cross stitch. It's very simple. It honestly, you're just making little crosses. The best advice I can give you for making the crosses is do them all one way. So do your first X one way, then do your other X another way. I go from bottom left up to top right, and then from top right, no, oh God, I go from bottom left to top right, top left to bottom right. That was harder than it needed to be. And I tend to use the Danish method personally. So I go, sorry, I'm so stupid. Bottom left to top right, bottom left to top right, bottom left to top right. And then I come all the way back. Jeez, top left to bottom right, top left to bottom right, top left to bottom right. I will do a video at some point actually showing it because it sounds stupid when I say it. But make sure your stitches all go in one direction. It makes for a much neater look. And honestly, you'll thank me for that one as well. And I didn't show, there's the needle as well. Like I said in one of my previous videos, I have umpty 9 needles. I really do. I tend to use them for at least 2 projects, 3 projects until it starts to discolour, and then I swap them out. I will never run out. I don't actually ever need to buy needles again, I'm pretty sure. I've got plenty to go around. And like I say, a cross stitch guide, that is also really helpful. So I think it might even show, which I could show. Let me see. Yeah, so that's there it is. So you go all one way and then you come back the other way. It's fantastic. It's the easiest method for me. And she also shows how to finish it. I might actually follow that for a change instead of just getting my glue gun out, but honestly, I don't have enough time to stitch the back and things. Nobody looks at it. I mean, do you want to see? There's the back of one. There's the back of another. And there's the back of another. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Who's looking at it? Nobody's going to see it. Look, and you can't tell from the front how the back looks, can you? That's how I justify it to myself anyway. So yeah, she literally includes everything you need. How fantastic. So I hope you liked this video. I hope it was informative in some way. I hope it wasn't just me babbling on for 20 minutes. That has been known to happen. My director is not here today. She has abandoned me, unfortunately. She's downstairs with her mum. Yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please leave a comment. I'd love to know what you would like me to shoot videos on. If there's anything in particular that you're not sure of about cross stitch, I'll be very happy to do a video on it, as long as I know how to do it. I mean, I am not the be all and end all. I'm not a cross stitch maestro. I'm just an enthusiast. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out my socials at Leah's Cross Stitch Corner, and do come back next week. I didn't know how I was going to end that there. That was kind of just like, what'll I say? What'll I say? Thank you so much for watching. I've really enjoyed that, actually. That's the first one I've done where I haven't showed anything off, or I haven't had a clear plan going forward what I was going to actually shoot. Graham just said to me, why don't you just do one on beginner's cross stitch? Just give a little bit of a overview of tools that you could use that could make your life easier. And yeah, hopefully this helped. I'm going to get my sister to watch it and find out, because she started cross stitching and she actually used all 6 strands of thread, which obviously it wasn't explicitly stated in the directions that she had to, you know, take 1 strand out, take 2 strands out, etc. So she used all 6. She tried to cross stitch, she got sick of it. She's never picked it up again, and she refuses to. I even told her I'll help her, but she wasn't interested. She'll stick to making bracelets. She actually made me these bracelets, and she gave me them on Saturday because we went to see Indiana Jones. They're class, aren't they? I've told her she should start an Etsy channel selling them. Yeah, so that's her forte and this one's mine. So yeah, thank you for watching and have a lovely day. Bye now.